Hi there, welcome to Tarotland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Cancer energy. And like usual, we're going to do two rows. The top row is going to be a higher vibrational Cancer energy, and the bottom row is going to be a more worldly, shadowy Cancer energy. Within ourself, we have our dualistic nature, so our more immature worldly nature, ego nature, kind of wants to run our life. But we have our more hopeful, believing, loving nature that kind of wants to be in the driver's seat of our life. And some people could be struggling within themselves, kind of, trying to make a decision. Life's about making choices. And some people could be struggling within themselves, and they could be debating within themselves. And so we're going to read it from that perspective. But there are some other people that have seen how some things manipulated them, and they have decided to live their life differently. And when they decide to move forward in their life differently, for one, their own worldly shadowy nature doesn't like it. But there also can be other people in our life who we had been investing time, energy, and effort into and hanging out with that maybe aren't ready to move forward with us at the same time we are. We all learn and grow and heal and mature ourselves and look at life differently at different times. So some people in our life might be sad that we're living our life differently. Some of them might be mad. Some of them might wish they could move forward with us like that, but they're not ready. So, and then there are people that in their Cancer energy, maybe they are still caught up in some things of the world. Maybe they are more about the world and ego and image or indulgence or themselves. Some people harness shadowy Cancer energy. They use their emotions manipulatively to get what they want in a relationship. The truth sets us free. We just need to see the truth of, if we're more motivated and inspired by truth and love and justice and fairness, and we've kind of learned some of these lessons along the way of how to work together with people that way, and some other people might be defensive or fearful or bossy or controlling or whatever their issue is, we just need to see the truth that we're kind of not maybe both motivated by love. So let's go see. The reason for the top row's reading is the wishing well. It says there's a lot of excitement in the air. You awakened a new life in them that has them lost in a field of possibilities. But we'll look at the wishing well as kind of like a Nine of Cups card. It can also be the reason for the reading coming out. Again, we can all have different ideas of what the dream life is like and what we think will be emotionally fulfilling in our life. And you could realize some people in your life, what they think will make them happy, you realize isn't what makes you happy. We come in contact with all these different people to help us get clear about what our truth is. So let's take a quick look at the top row. We have insatiable, beauty and grace, losing battle, and watching you. So in high vibe, the insatiable can be, I just have hope and faith and belief in my dreams. I'm not going to settle for these things of the world or making my life about these things of the world or staying in relationships with people just because of how it looks, maybe with the beauty and the grace. But I'm not willing to give up my dreams. And I realize there's certain people I might need to detach from, or certain ways of thinking or believing or perceiving myself that I need to let go of in the losing battle. Watching you. This picture shows someone, I would say that's the Fool. Emotionally, the feminine figures can talk about how we think and feel. We have a dream. And, the divine wants us to go live our dream, but we have to be willing to kind of like write the story of our own life and quit letting all these things manipulate us. Our fear, our insecurity, our pride, our ego, our self-limiting beliefs, other people in our life. We write the story of our life. And God's watching you to see what it is. You have free will. God can only help you manifest what you are willing to put work and effort into manifesting. It does take work and effort. So the divine hopes that you love yourself and believe in your dreams and offer love to yourself and realize in the losing battle what you need to let go of. And if we let our more worldly, egoic nature of insatiable beauty and grace, which can be like, but there's all these things I want, God, or I'd rather not put in the work and effort. Can't I just have it? Can't you just make it happen? Well, if we're not willing to take a leap of faith, we will give up the fight and we will maybe keep staying right here, which by worldly standards could look great, but we still have that longing within us that this isn't quite right. And we could know some different people that we would like to be in a relationship with. And some of those people could be loving people, but there's still these things that kind of have them a little consumed right now. And some of those people are losing the battle. They are giving in to letting things within them and things in the world kind of manipulate them. And we could have been hoping, because the Nine of Cups of the wishing well can be about hoping. We could hope that other people would do this work, and we're kind of maybe waiting to go on that new journey to see if some of the people in our life are going to win the battle within themselves to keep moving forward with us or come move forward with us with more hope and faith and belief. And, some of the people won't, and they're just going to watch some other people who were willing to not give up their dreams, keep moving forward, loving and believing in themselves to manifest their dreams into reality. And they might be at this phase of life where they're not ready to take that leap of faith yet. But we keep taking that leap of faith. Everybody's got to work through this on their own. Everybody has to free themselves from things that manipulate them. And we keep moving forward, having hope and faith and belief that, we'll work with other people in our life who are moving forward with us in that way, enjoying our life, investing in our careers and all these things that we enjoy in life. And we assume God has a plan for our life. That the people who are meant to be in our life will be in our life. The people that are free and didn't lose the battle within themselves are going, like us, take that leap of faith to keep moving forward. Okay, let's go look at the bottom row. Divine truth. We are helping this connection evolve to see things as they really are and bring to light all that has been hidden. So, at any given moment in our life, you could look at the divine truth as like the Justice card or the King of Swords or the Queen of Swords. We all live life based on what our truth is at any given moment. Our truth at age 15 was different than it was at age 18. The way we viewed ourselves, the way we viewed the world, the way we viewed relationships. But we all are at where we're at based on, our maturity level, the lessons that we've learned in life, what things we've freed ourselves from, what things we haven't freed ourselves from that still manipulate us. And there's part of us that might want to stay living life the way we had been doing it because we get to stay in our comfort zone. We don't have to take that leap of faith to keep moving forward, believing in ourselves and believing in their dreams. But there could have been something about living life the way we had been living it that we became enlightened to some truth. And again, the truth is what sets us free. And it can just be even listening to your intuition, which could kind of be the insatiable card. I have a dream in the beauty and grace card. I have a dream of, these more just and fair or balanced or loving or authentic relationships or mature relationships. And, at one point in time, I was living my life at a certain point in time and a way of viewing life because that's where I was at that stage of life. But then as I worked through that stage of life, I got more clear about my truth. And I am willing to listen to my intuition And even though it can be difficult because there are things I have to let go of, there's going to be certain ways of living life and viewing life and jobs and friendships and relationships that I might have to detach from in the losing battle, because my intuition is telling me it's time to move on. We all have a certain pattern of life that we live out until we learn the lessons we were meant to learn from that. And then we're kind of ready to go to the next phase of life, just like age 15 to 18. We can live life like a 15-year-old for a certain period of time, and it's great and it's wonderful. It was just and fair. It was right. We were 15. It's where we were at in our emotional maturity level. But then when we get it's kind of like our soul calling us as we get closer to 18, that it's time to put away those more immature, childish ways of viewing life. Face your fears of detaching from this more immature way of viewing life and yourself and relationships and things like that, and believe that you can go to the next phase of life of acting more like an 18-year-old to 20-year-old. The thing is, I think once we get older, some people always thought, well, you know, when I'm 15, 18, 21, 25, I'll kind of keep up with my peer group and I'll do the standard things that people do, like go get a job, learn how to drive, move out of home, things like that, which can all be scary. But then when people get to be an adult, they pop out in the adult world and they can blend in anywhere with all the adults in the world. And some people, their plan was, that's it. I'm done now. I'm good. I have a job. I want to get in a relationship. And then I don't ever step out of my comfort zone anymore. I don't, it was bad enough to step out of my comfort zone and face my fears when I was younger, having to do these things I'd really maybe rather not do, And everybody has a certain comfort zone, and everybody has a certain way of viewing life and what they're motivated and inspired by. And we can get in relationships with people and their idea of the dream life and how they view life and all that is like, I like to stay here. But your intuition is calling you to keep moving forward. And we just need to see the truth of it. So let's go look at how some people could have been or currently are living their life. Or what your shadow nature wants you to do. Your more worldly, egoic, fearful or codependent nature, You were there at one time. It was just unfair for you to be there. But now it's starting to seem like it manipulates you in some way. We have the fairy tale, gossip, the rival, exhausted, and the mask. So, we all have, at every phase of life, we have this idea of what that phase of life is going to be like. And sometimes we like to live in fantasy land and illusion. That also, looking at the wishing well as the 9 of Cups, we can all have these ideas of people and jobs and friendships that we want to be in. But sometimes our judgment is clouded because we have lessons to learn in life. And we're maybe not seeing things clearly. Like a loving person could get in a relationship with someone who's not very loving. They're defensive, they're immature, they're impulsive and reckless, they got addictions, whatever it is. But, sometimes people in their God Savior complex is like, oh my gosh, I'm going to change them. I'm going to make them walk away from their more defensive, fearful, insecure ways of being, and I'm going to make them choose love. Well, God's been working with them all this time too, and they came out over here having these illusions about what it means to be in relationships also. Well, no, I can be defensive. No, I can be immature. No, I can be bossy and controlling. No, I think people should indulge me in a relationship. Everybody has their idea. Or I should be able to use my emotions manipulatively. I can operate from my ego. And we need to wake up to the truth. Quit trying to change people. See the truth. If someone seems to have traits and characteristics and qualities that aren't being more aligned with being more just and fair and truthful and honest and mature and acting with character and integrity, we should quit getting caught up in our illusions. But you know, we all got lessons learned in life. So we have these ideas about life. Gossip. There's a lot of gossip that surrounds this relationship that is affecting not only their judgment, but their vision too. Some people, you know, more worldly, shadowy energy could be more about ego and image and money and materialism and our fears and our insecurities. Everyone can want the dream to come into reality, but if some people get more caught up in their head and their fears, it can stop them from moving forward in a relationship. It's like a stumbling block. And I guess in tarot, we'd maybe equate the gossip card to like a 3 of Cups of, you know, we could have fear that other people are manipulating us. People who do manipulate other people and try to use their emotions manipulatively, they know they're kind of creating an illusion to try to get people to move forward with them in a relationship. So they're very distrustful of other people. I think you're trying to manipulate me because they know they're trying to manipulate you. You're either truthful and honest and authentic, or you're operating more from your ego and you're trying to manipulate people. And some people think it is their mode of operating, and they think everybody lives their life like this, right? So of course, if they are manipulating people to get what they want, and they think that's just and fair, they think you in turn are trying to manipulate them to get what you want. And it's always this thing about living more from your mind than your heart and trying to outwit and outmaneuver people. Some of the high vibe people, and it also could be like the 7 of Swords, where people aren't listening to their intuition and they get all caught up in their head. And for some people, it's getting caught up in their head thinking, I should be the center of attention. I have these illusions about relationships. I have my idea of the dream life, and the dream life is I make my life all about me. You should make your life all about me. And they're not, you know, they have some lessons learned about being in relationships. So some people who have hope and faith and belief and love can get in relationships with people like this. They're harnessing like high vibe 3 of Cups, which is Cancer energy, high vibe 7 of Swords, like, you know, I've got my own fears and insecurities, but I have hope and faith and belief in my dream. Don't you have that same dream as me? Aren't we both going to work on this together? So one person can be using their emotions manipulatively or more about the world and the status and the image, and the other one is thinking it's going to move forward in love. And then we have the rival. Everyone emotionally has their own shadowy egoic nature that battles with them. No, no, no. Don't take a leap of faith. No, don't step out of your comfort zone. No, don't listen to your intuition. Get caught up in your head. Let me manipulate you. Let's stay in our fear and our insecurities. You know, let's not really do love. We get hurt doing love. Maybe we should even just let this person go and make it all about indulging ourselves. You know, if some people are more about themselves or indulgence or ego and image or something, and they're in a relationship with someone who's loving, well, you are a threat to how they want to live their life. And if they were to move forward with you, they could still have these things that tempt them to not have hope and faith and belief and love. And then I think sometimes third parties in people's lives, that could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be a romantic interest. We can all be tempted by things in the world, right? And I think, you know, initially we can really be mad at those third party people. Like, if it wouldn't have been for you, my person would have loved and believed in themselves, or my child wouldn't have gotten caught up in a relationship with someone like you, and they would be this more just and fair and hopeful, believing person. But if some people kind of were tempted, again, these two cards have their back to moving to the future. Stay here. Everybody else can have people in their life that it's like, No, I don't want you to be more bold and brave and confident. No, I don't want you to heal. No, I don't want you to be more balanced within yourself. No, I don't want you to become independent of me. I want you to look to me as this just and fair person. Maybe not listening to your own intuition and loving yourself, and maybe not the other people in your life that you could be in relationship with that maybe are more just and fair and loving, but I don't want you to hang around them, or you might see the truth about me that maybe I really don't have your best interests at heart. Our own shadow nature doesn't want us to listen to our more loving, hopeful, believing nature. And then there's other people in our life that are in that more worldly or shadowy energy. And then they don't want other people to love and believe in themselves. And some of those people could even, if they know that they're in relationships with some loving, encouraging, authentic, more just and fair people, they could even spread gossip and lies to get someone up in their head, in their fear and their insecurities. You shouldn't trust them. I think they're trying to manipulate you. I really don't think they have your best interest at heart. I think they're more about these things. I think they'll leave you one day. And it just kind of, people wouldn't align with those people if there wasn't a part of them that does kind of think that way and have those fears and insecurities too. Otherwise, they tell those people, get out of my way. But maybe they have some lessons to learn about listening to their intuition, standing up to their own fearful, immature, I should be indulged, or I just don't trust people nature. And it ends up that the third parties are just kind of like, they are their own human being, but it's like their physical manifestations trying to reveal to us something we weren't seeing in some of the people that we were in relationships with, because they wouldn't align with those people and be tempted to look at life that way and view life that way if there wasn't a part of them that felt that way too. And it's just God wanting to set us free from people that God knows aren't on the same page as us. That they still have these issues that they need to work through and free themselves from. And they might have other people in their life that they still let manipulate and control them. And until they are willing to become, the Nine of Cups is about becoming more independent, until they get out of their more codependent energy to trust and believe in themselves and listen to their intuition, instead of when other people in their life and their own shadow nature tries to get them caught up in their head and their fear and their insecurities or their lust or their greed or their more immature nature, they're going to keep being susceptible to that. And then sometimes the loving people in people's life can feel like they're the third party to some other relationship, that those people can't even be in a relationship with those people because they're just their friend or they're their family member. But the person they really could be in a relationship with is like the third party to this relationship. And that's when it's like, I'm the person that you can be in a relationship with, or I am the person you're in a relationship with, or I am the person you've married. But yet, I'm like the third party? I'm like a threat? This is a primary relationship that I'm considered a threat to? And for some people where they are kind of fearful and defensive to love and being hurt, or they're egotistical and self-centered and want to be indulged, yeah, you're a threat to all of that. Because if that's how they want to live their life, and you want them to step outside their comfort zone and detach from that and become independent of it, yeah, you're a threat to them aligning with their more fearful or defensive or egotistical, self-interested nature. And eventually some high-vibe people who have some people like this in their life, it's exhausting. It's like, oh my gosh, I have been loving and encouraging. I've been trying to get you to love and believe in yourself and be more independent. To to do more equal give and take, to get out of your fear, get out of your shadowy kind of ways of being, so that we can have a more just and fair relationship. And eventually, the losing battle that some people are like insatiable. The Beauty and Grace card kind of reminds me of an Empress energy, and the feminines in tarot can talk about how we think and feel. Sometimes there's some people, they're like kind of like a black void. I have this illusion you're supposed to want to work together with me in a relationship, and you should think your dreams can come into reality with me, but I kind of like to be indulged in a relationship. It's really more about me, and we weren't seeing the truth of it, and because they presented themselves as being loving people. I'm not selfish. I'm not self-centered. I'm not more about ego and image. I have hope and faith and belief and love, but then they don't. You know? They're just hoping that you'll keep indulging them in their kind of more self-centered or shadowy ways of being, and that you'll give up your dreams and just keep indulging them endlessly, because they don't ever plan to do this work within themselves to free themselves from those things that manipulate them. And eventually we see through the illusion of the mask. These people aren't who they said they were. They said they wanted to work cooperatively together from love. That they weren't bossy or controlling or egotistical or self-centered or all about indulgence or ego and image. And eventually we see the truth. And, you know, for a long time we can, you know, and if it's not that, it can just be within ourselves, that we're kind of indulging ourselves, living our life a certain way, which at one time kind of was appropriate because that's where we were at in life and how we viewed life. But then we kind of realize it's not as fulfilling anymore, because it is kind of like we learned everything we were meant to learn from that phase of life. And now it's kind of like our intuition saying, you've completed that phase of life. You are ready to go to the next phase of life. And though there is a part of you that is fearful of moving forward, and there's a part of you that doesn't want to put in the work and effort to face your fears and insecurities of becoming independent of some things you need to become independent of, and love and believe in yourself to keep moving forward to the next phase of life and overcoming your fears and insecurities, there's a part of you that keeps tempting you to stay, maybe get detached from some of those things, but then we can stay stuck here for a while, you know. And sometimes we did go through some things that we need to take this time to work through. And High Vibe Empress is about kind of learning to, it's Libra Taurus energy of putting in work and effort to maintain balance within ourselves without being more codependent on other people, or like needing to be in a relationship to feel more balanced and stable within ourselves. We learn how to be our own best mother, father, coach voice to ourselves. And that if I don't learn to do that, there's going to be these people in the world that are going to be happy to be in a relationship with me, but they want me to keep living my life this certain way where I don't keep loving and believing in myself and growing to my full potential, because they don't. And then they want me to keep indulging them in a relationship, but they're maybe not equal give and take in some way in the relationship, where it could feel like I'm giving, they're taking, and I don't want these imbalanced kind of relationships anymore. Or people trying to manipulate me or control me or want me to believe some illusion about who they are when they are hurtful and unkind and maybe competitive and treat me like I'm the competition to defeat when I'm in a romantic relationship with them. That would be people who operate from their ego, and because they haven't learned to love and believe in themselves, they derive their sense of worth and value over how they think they're better than other people, or trying to control other people and maybe hurt other people. Like, look how powerful I am. I write the story of your damn life. And some people are like, get out of my way. You know, I have tried to work with you cooperatively in love. And you keep trying to manipulate me, keep trying to confuse me about the truth, act in these ways that aren't conducive to a loving, just and fair and balanced relationship, and I'm tired of it. And some people have already gotten out of those relationships and come up here to do this work within themselves, maybe being independent and taking, kind of detaching from some people while you take this time within yourself to maybe get clear about what is it that I really want to manifest. And sometimes when you do that, the other people might be either very competitive, immature, codependent, and they don't like that you are standing up for yourself and maintaining balance within yourself and kind of not doing life the way you used to do or indulging them. And again, we either act in truth and love and justice and fairness, or more shadowy energy can be like, I have an idea. I'm going to take this action to bother you, to make you look like your dreams aren't coming into reality. Look at me. I'm maybe going to get myself in a new relationship. People will be talking. People will be, I maybe got in a relationship with a rival of yours, someone who I think it would bother you that I'm in a relationship with. Because I'm hoping that you maybe will feel so overwhelmed about continuing to love and believe in yourself that you'll come back and do the relationship the way I want and indulge me the way I like to be indulged. They've been putting a lot of work and effort into, you know, sometimes people get in another relationship with someone just to manipulate someone else. And they could be putting in a lot of work and effort into a new relationship, trying to get other people that they would like to be in a relationship with to quit loving and believing in yourself and standing up for yourself and come back and do the relationship the way I want you to do it. But some people, and people could have done that in a relationship too. Oh, you better not leave. I could get in a relationship with these people. Oh, aren't you in your ego? Aren't you in your competitive nature? Aren't you attracted to me? Don't you love me? I would go get in a relationship with these people. And for a long time, you know, even if there's things that people aren't happy about, you know, they keep putting in all this work and effort to make this relationship work because they want it to work. They want to get the justice. And there just comes a point in time where people are like, oh my God, you know, why do I stay in this? Is this person even worth fighting for, really? Why don't I love and believe in myself? Why would I stay in relationships with people who are like this, or at jobs that are with people who act like this, that are petty or bossy or controlling or backstabbing or immature? Why don't I go get a different job? Why don't I find a different friend? Why don't I go live my life and go be happy, not being around people like this? Because again, because we live in a world of duality, I think if there's people in our life creating a little hell, that means there's other people in the world creating a little heaven on earth. And we have free will. Am I going to stay in something where people are acting in these immature ways of being? You know, because there too, sometimes we can get in a relationship and people are like, oh no, this is going to be so great. And, you know, we're these wonderful people and you should work here. And then we get there and we find out they're not anything like they said they were. And it's like people who committed fraud to get you to take a job or get in an organization or a relationship with them. And then you put in this work and effort to try to make it work, to get people to try to be illuminated to the truth that if we work cooperatively and if people, I don't engage in this with you, and I'm not going to encourage you to keep acting that way, and I'm going to hope that everybody kind of gets out of it. But then we see everybody's got free will. If they wanted to be different, they would be different. If they were more grown and matured than they are, they would act more grown and mature. If they wanted to be more just and fair, they would be more just and fair. And we realize it's a losing battle. You just can't win with some people because they could harness this energy in a shadowy way. I like to present myself as these loving, just, fair, stable, grounded, emotionally mature people, but really this is the truth of who I am. I just create this illusion that I harness high vibe Cancer energy, but I really harness shadowy Cancer energy. I try to manipulate and control people, and I have this illusion about relationships, and in my mind, I justify it because I turn my back on being more authentically myself and working through the things that manipulate me to free myself from. And I like to do life like this. And yeah, for them, it's probably exhausting too. When your whole life is all about trying to create an illusion about who you are and hiding the truth of that you're egotistical and self-centered, or you try to work to wear other people down so they don't love them, believe in themselves, so they'll keep staying in a relationship with you. Yeah, that's exhausting. Trying to keep up a pretense of being loving when you're really doing all this work and strategizing how to figure out how to keep this person convinced that you're a loving person when you're really more about yourself and your ego or your image or something other than love. And eventually, some people in their life see the truth of it. And some people right now are like waking up to the truth. And it can be really difficult because we can love those people, maybe in the insatiable card, and we're used to other people nurturing us and loving us, and now we have to do that work within ourselves to not give in to things that tempt us. And it could just be our more codependent nature. I need to do this work to love and believe in myself, to maintain balance within myself, so I don't go repeat an old pattern just because I want to be in a relationship, just because, some people, they could have just went and gotten another relationship, so they look like they got it going on, but they could just be in the relationship just to look like they're the winner. They're using the people they're in a relationship with for their own ego purposes. And we have to realize I don't want to make my life about competing with other people. I want to live my truth. And when people have gone through all this work with the losing battle kind of being like maybe the 5 of Swords and the 10 of Swords, I wasn't happy in that relationship, is the truth of it. It wasn't working out the way I wanted it to work out. Even though it does cause me some inner conflict, I'm going to keep offering love to myself to get out of my ego about it, because the 5 of Wands is our kind of more competitive nature and our inner conflict nature. And then the 5s can be about getting to a place of peace about it. I accept and I have seen the truth of how some people operate in the world. And I wasn't happy being in that relationship. And I am going to get out of my ego about it. They're probably just going to go repeat that same pattern of relationship with someone else. If they were motivated and inspired to heal and grow and mature themselves at any time during that relationship, they probably would have. And they didn't. So odds are they won't. And I have a dream I want to bring into reality. I gotta pause this for a minute. Okay, I'm back. Something was not sitting well in my stomach, so maybe some of you are experiencing something like that. I think there's going to be some people in your life who, the Fool card in this book is like starting at ground zero. You completed a phase of your life. You saw the truth. You got clear about what your truth was and wasn't. You expanded your perception of yourself and the world around you. You healed. You looked at life from a higher perspective. Something. The truth has set you free to go on this new journey. And letting go of people in your life. Some of those people could be people that you thought were on the same page as you, that you thought were more just and fair, had the same dream you have, and some of them don't. But the people, and some of those people are going to watch you go on this new journey, being independent of them, moving forward with the people in your life who do invest in you emotionally in a just and fair and balanced and loving way. And they're going to, live life the way you probably had lived life at some point in time, at a certain way of viewing life. Or if they are people that harness these energies more shadowy, because this could be that we just hadn't learned to love ourselves. We had mental conflict. We had some issues and lessons we needed to learn. And they could just be on that same journey, some of them. But others of them could be people who like to manipulate people and are more about ego and image or themselves, and they're just going to go try to manipulate someone else to get in a relationship with. What's coming up for people who harness some high vibe Cancer energy that they might not see coming up? And then there can be other people in the world. Some people are just watching you to see if you are single, if you are more independent. If they knew that you had been in a relationship before. People don't want to get in a relationship with some people don't want to get in a relationship with someone until they know they're really independent of that old relationship. Like, I don't want to get in a relationship with you and you're still struggling about if you want to be in a relationship with that person. So until they think that you have really gone on this new journey, then that's when some of those people would come get in a relationship with you. We have the King of Swords, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles because of the Five of Swords. If you know some people that think it's just and fair to invest emotionally in living more from their mind than their heart and kind of indulging their more immature nature, they're most likely going to keep doing that. If they are more about money and materialism and status and image, the Five of Swords is Aquarius energy, and they're more about looking like a shining star in the world, they'll maybe go get in a relationship with someone who helps them, they feel in their mind, look like they're looking like a shining star in the world. But you already know the truth about them, and that's what drives and motivates them. It might cause you a little bit of inner conflict, but you've changed. You're not the same person you were before, and you know the truth of who they are. And you're harnessing this energy in a high vibe way. You really are harnessing like high vibe Libra, high vibe Taurus, all the earth signs have healed, and you're moving forward, taking action in truth and love and justice and fairness. And there's going to be other people that harness their Libra, their Taurus, all their earth sign energies and their Aquarius energy in a more worldly way. It's just a fact of life. For every person in the world that has certain traits and characteristics over here, having more hope and faith and belief and love, there's going to be, in a world of duality, other people who could appear and look a lot just like you in how they live their life, but their foundational truth is more about themselves or ego or image or pride or manipulation and illusion. And you're going to feel stable and balanced within yourself because you changed, because you saw the truth, and you emotionally invested in your more hopeful, believing inner child nature instead of your more worldly, immature nature. And you're going to go on this new adventure. You go to the next phase of life. And I think as you do that, there's going to be other people that see that you are this just and fair, emotionally stable, grounded, hopeful, believing person. And there's going to be different people who want to be in a relationship with you. And you'll just listen to your intuition about those people. Who are the people who live more from their mind than their heart, more about ego and image, or want to be the next person you indulge in a relationship. And those people, yeah, no, sorry. I'm moving on. I've already been in relationships with people who are like you, and I didn't like it. And then other people will also harness that high vibe energy the same as you. And you've learned these lessons to listen to your intuition to guide you. Because when we let our more worldly nature, no, God, no, God, I know they're like this, they're like that, but I'm sure I can make this work, and God will be like, good luck. You know, we need to find people who are on the same page as us. We need to speak our truth. And we speak our truth and protect our more emotionally mature, authentic, loving nature from people in the world who don't have our best interests at heart, who have ulterior purposes, might want to win at all costs, might be bossy, might be controlling, think you should do life their way. It's like, I have my own life to live. I have my own unique talent, skills, and interests. I think I'm my own individual, you're your own individual, and two people work together for a common goal, but we all still maintain our kind of autonomy and have our own unique things that we like to, from love, not trying to hurt anybody, just living my authentic life from truth and love. And some people don't like that. You're supposed to make your life their life. They're supposed to be the center of your universe, and that's the fairy tale some people still have. No, I make myself the center of my universe. I want to get in a relationship with other people who look to me to be the center of their universe, like I'm their God, and they should look to me for everything. They shouldn't listen to their intuition. They shouldn't have their own hopes and dreams. You should make your life all about me. And that's how some people are. And some of those people that are doing that again with someone, some people are also realizing this is exhausting. You know, it's all about you. And it really doesn't seem like the dream is going to come into reality. No matter how much work and effort I put into it, you're not a more just and fair and emotionally nurturing and loving and hopeful and believing person. And some of those people are going to say, I'm done. What's coming up? Some of you, if this was a job that you got out of, it's just seeing the truth about the old job and doing this work and going to go invest in a new job that you think will be emotionally fulfilling. What's coming up for the people who harness a more worldly or shadowy Cancer energy? The Five of Wands, because of the Ten of Swords. What some of the more worldly, shadowy people don't see coming is that some of the people in their life have inner conflict about sabotaging their dreams. You know, sometimes these people are so consumed with themselves and all about themselves, and they think you should make your life all about their life. And other people have inner conflict about that. I'm not willing to give up my dreams. I'm not willing to give up my truth and loving myself and having my own unique talent, skills, and interests that I want to invest in, and investing in my own dream of things that I find emotionally fulfilling, or just being in a relationship that's more, where people are more emotionally independent instead of being codependent. And the fives can talk about change again. They could be surprised when people in their life change, because they never change. They keep repeating the same pattern over and over and over. Sometimes they might try to work through it in the exhausted card, to work through some of their fears or their insecurities and things that manipulate them to be more independent of them. But they always kind of get tempted to indulge their more worldly or egoic or immature nature, or people in their life that manipulate and control them. They never succeed at completing a cycle, because they also have inner conflict about completing a cycle. When you complete a cycle, which the nines and tens can talk about completing a cycle. It takes work and effort. It's hard. You know, you're going to be tempted to keep doing things the way you've done it, and they keep giving in. So they didn't think other people wouldn't give in. And for a long time, people maybe have given in to them. Okay, I'll just do it your way. Okay, I do have fears of insecurities about going on a new journey and giving birth to something new. I'll just do it this way. But there comes a time, you know, life's about learning lessons. How many times does it take for people to get a successful light bulb working? People keep trying because they have inner conflict, repeating an old pattern or staying in relationships with people who are kind of immature in some way. And eventually they succeed, maybe on the 10th time, maybe on the 10th month, the 10th year, you know, whatever it takes. And eventually people learn what they were meant to learn. They see the truth. They're no longer in illusion, no longer emotionally manipulated by their more, but I wanted this to work, God. It's like, yeah, but it's not working. Yeah, but I want it to work. Okay. When are you going to see the truth? It's not working. Because the people that you're working with have to work cooperatively with you to bring that dream into reality, and they're not. And eventually, people see the truth. And then they don't want to be in a relationship with them anymore. Or work at that job anymore. And they leave. And some of the people are always surprised when that happens. Well, you know, and some of those people don't want to see the truth. Am I egotistical? Am I manipulative? Am I superficial? Am I shallow? Am I all about myself? Am I all about ego and image or money and materialism? Is that why I get in relationships? And is that why I try to get people to get in relationships with me? And they don't want to see the truth. And they always get in their ego when other people free themselves from these things that manipulate them too. But they never free themselves, and other people do. And then they wonder, how did those people free themselves? How did they, stand up for themselves? Well, you have to be willing to stand up for yourself and speak your truth. You have to emotionally love your more hopeful, believing inner child nature instead of keep indulging your more immature, defensive, or prideful, or immature nature. You know, it's like with this world of duality and free will choice, it's kind of like, you know, we have two dogs within us. Which one are we going to feed? The one we feed is going to get bigger. They keep indulging their more fearful or defensive or prideful or indulgent nature. And other people didn't want to keep having this inner conflict, and you know, they listened to their intuition and they got out of their ego to admit, I need to learn to love myself. I need to get more balance within myself. I need to offer myself love and compassion and forgiveness for the mistakes I've made so I don't keep doing this over and over and over. And I'm going to offer love and compassion and forgiveness to people in my past so I can let them go too. You do you. You know, I want to go on this new journey being free of this shit. And I need to emotionally do the work within myself to see the truth of it. Everybody is where they're at. Everybody's got their own issues. Everybody has their life experience of growing up that they have to reconcile themselves with to be a more authentic, just, fair, balanced, loving person. And some people did not do that work. And I accept that. And it doesn't have any reflection of my worth and value. Unjust, unfair, manipulative, prideful, stubborn, egotistical people, that's who they are. And it doesn't matter who they're in relationship with. They might wear a better false mask with some people than other people. But some people, that's how they operate in the world. That is their truth. And to see, I do not need to invest my time, energy, and effort into people like that. I can go invest in people who have freed themselves from their more immature, defensive, prideful, shadowy ways of being, who have learned to be more loving. And the King of Swords is a Libra energy about the scales of justice. I think the high vibe people are going to get the justice they deserve because they invest in change, getting out of their ego, willing to learn lessons in life, willing to change, willing to admit that I make mistakes. I have learning and healing and growing to do, which is something the other people have a problem with. If you were to complete the Ten of Swords, you'd come out with the Ace of Swords. They might be people who have a problem speaking the truth, standing up for themselves, being more just and fair. And so they keep sabotaging themselves. The truth sets us free. We have to be willing to deal with the truth. We have to admit we're fallible human beings who made mistakes. That I do have lessons learned. I could have done things when I got caught up in my fear or my insecurity or my competitive nature or my immature nature, had illusions about relationships, and I made some poor decisions. And some of the people that were trying to manipulate someone, get them in their ego, in their fear, in their competitive nature, some of those people are like, I'm done. That's it. It's the last time. I'm moving on. I am standing up for myself, and I am going to love myself, and I'm going to give myself the things I wish you would have given me because you didn't give them to me, and I can give that to myself instead of investing time, energy, and effort into you. The only person I can change is me, and I'm going to go be happy, and I'm going to go invest in the other people who make the free will choice to be happy and not try to manipulate people, control people, compete with people, be all about their ego or their image or indulgent nature. And then some of these people who thought, oh no, I'm going to make my life about this and I'm going to be living the life. What they don't see coming is that they're maybe going to have a lot of inner conflict when they finally see the truth that they backstab loving people in their life, which in turn backstab themselves because they were unwilling to do this work, to work through these things that manipulate them to free themselves from it. And then they're probably going to be in their ego about it because they're mad that people who did have hope and faith and belief and love, who did act in just and fair ways, who do act with character and integrity, are getting the loving, nurturing, supportive relationships that they want, but they don't want to be that type of person. But they have a problem seeing the truth of that because they want that. That's like the devil, right? I want those things. Give them to me. But you're not loving. You're not nurturing. You're not just. You're not fair. You're manipulative. You're hurtful. You're unkind. You know, you have all these things that manipulate you. Until you free yourself from them, the high vibe people are moving on and investing in other people. And they did not see that coming. Another thing they might not see coming is there's going to be other people who want to be in a relationship with them because there's other people who have lessons to learn in life, just like we did when we got in relationships with them. You know, nothing goes to waste in the world. God uses bad, shadowy, manipulative, immature, bossy, controlling, abusive people to try to illuminate other people to the truth. Oh, you haven't learned to love and believe in yourself? You're still in codependent energy looking to people to love you? Well, here's someone who wants to be in a relationship with someone who hasn't learned to love themselves. Do you want to stay here? You can. You have free will. You can stay with this person. And people get out of those relationships because it's like, nope, I don't want to stay there. I'm going to move on. What this person doesn't realize is that the people who maybe are willing to keep staying in a relationship with them are people just like them, who also have inner conflict about getting out of their illusions about relationships, who also might try to emotionally manipulate people and put a lot of work and effort to make sure those people don't see through the illusion of who they are. I, too, am going to present myself as a happy, family, loving person to you. And you're going to present yourself as a happy, loving, family person to me. But that's not the truth of who either of us are. We both have inner conflict about being loving. We both live more from our mind than our heart. We're both maybe more about getting in a relationship to look like a shining star in the world, to create this image in the world that we have what other people have. We just don't. It's all this exhaustion of trying It's like trying to control everything and how other people view you and how other people perceive you, because it's all trying to create this facade that you're this loving, nurturing person, but you're manipulated by all these fears or these insecurities or your lust or your greed or your pride or your ego or yourself, but you don't want anybody to know that. So it's all about trying to hide that. And it's just all this inner conflict about the truth. We're meant to be more independent and free from these things that manipulate us. We're not supposed to let our mind run our life or our emotions run our life. We are meant to, they are complicated, they are confusing, but we are not to be enslaved to our mind and our emotions. And for some people, that's what it is. And they don't realize they're supposed to do this work within themselves to learn how to work with their emotions and their thoughts, to not let them keep them enslaved and imprisoned, to free themselves. But you have to offer love to yourself. You have to offer yourself a cup of love to get out of your fear and your insecurity and all these things that manipulate you. I deserve to be happy. Why do I maybe keep telling myself I don't deserve to be happy? Why maybe do I have a harsh, critical inner voice to myself? I have my more hopeful, believing nature, but emotionally I also have this nature within myself that wants to be in the driver's seat of my life. Why do I let my more shadowy nature be in the driver's seat of my life while I'm sitting in the back seat wishing my dreams would come into reality? When are we going to stand up to our own shadow nature and say, fuck off? And then, when are we going to say that to some people in our life who want us to keep living our life like that because it works for them and they don't really want us to love and believe in ourselves either? And we tell them, I wish you peace, love, and joy, but I'm moving on. No need to antagonize people who are in shadowy energy. They could be kind of dangerous. And put an end to letting the competition, our shadow nature, drive our life and put it in the back seat. And it's like having our more immature inner child nature that's like, no, we should do this. No, I'm fearful. No, this would be great. We should go do that. And we're like a good, loving parent to ourselves. And we say, no, honey. Yes, I know. We all kind of maybe would like to go indulge in some of that, but we've been there before and done that, and it didn't work out the way we wanted. We need to temper our ego and our more immature, indulgent nature, and we have this dream, and we're going to work to bring that dream into reality, but we're going to go about it acting in truth and character and integrity and justice and fairness and love, because we want to be proud of ourselves, because when we act in ways that are immature, all we do is sabotage ourselves and backstab ourselves, and we're tired of backstabbing ourselves. So I'm going to offer you love and compassion and encouragement to move forward in a more just and fair and loving and balanced way. And we can get the things that we want in the world. We're just going to go about it in a way that we can be proud of. Harnessing high vibe Libra, high vibe Taurus, acting with character and integrity, having that hopeful, believing spirit. And we're going to go find the people in the world who we think have also learned those lessons, who look at life from a higher perspective, who have good self-discipline within themselves. That would be high vibe Leo. And the other people have more worldly, shadowy Leo energy, where they don't have good self-discipline within themselves. Their shadow nature or their fear or something is running their life. So there you go, Cancer energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.